Hey there guys, how's it going? It's Afraidnot, and today I've got for you some Destiny gameplay. Now this is some Crucible, and if you've been keeping up with me and my thoughts on Crucible and Destiny, you'll know that it isn't my favourite game mode of all time. It isn't my favourite multiplayer game, but I thought I'd change it up a little bit. I've uploaded a lot of COD Ghosts over the last couple of weeks, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't really been interested in picking up my 360 in quite a while, so I haven't really done a big recording session on any other CODs. I haven't really got any Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 1 gameplay that I can really use. So I thought, why not use this Crucible game? I picked it up, it didn't go too bad. I mean, as far as Crucible games go, it actually wasn't a bad game, I don't think. But what this video is about is literally just a follow-up. I actually done an I Own video on Destiny as soon as I got it, and I think I must have done the recording, I think, about 5 days after the release or something like that, and I gave it a kind of, not of a harsh review, I don't think. I think I was pretty fair, but I was kind of sitting on the fence about it. I was saying that it's a good game to play if you're interested in FPS games, but I didn't think it was a great standout game. That was pretty much in a nutshell how I really thought of Destiny. But after a month, because this is 1 month later, I wanted to record this last week, but it's 1 month and 1 week later or whatever, and I wanted to give it a little bit more, you know, talk about it just a little bit more, because I don't think that after 5 days of playing the game you can really judge this game. It's one of them games that you really have to play quite a lot to really understand the way that it works, the way that how you can have fun with it, and obviously, I mean, there's a lot more to it than a really poor story, which I mean, I don't know if it's poor. I mean, I don't think they told it properly, to be perfectly honest, and that's one of the main criticisms I was saying in my first video, is that the story just isn't explained very well actually in the game. I know that you can go on to the web browser, I think, or the Bungie website, and go through all the grime cards that you've earned and actually read the story through there, but realistically, who the hell is actually going to do that? I mean, I've read a couple of them, and I just don't really understand the whole system on how to do it. So for me, the way that they told the story of this game was just really poor. It really was, and I don't know if I can forgive that. I don't know if they're going to add it in DLC. That's probably the most likely thing, because I think this has got the biggest criticism, or the biggest criticism for this game, apart from it being quite repetitive, is the way the story was told. So after playing the story, or you know, the story mode missions through probably about 5 or 6 times in total, because it just got to a point where I was doing them for myself, and then a friend of mine would come online and be like, oh, how I need to do these story missions, so I'll do it with him, and then the next person would come online, oh, I need to do these stories missions, which is exactly the same as what I'd done the day before. So I ended up playing the story so many times, and I still to this day don't really understand what's going on, but after playing it all that time, so there it was quite repetitive, I've really got into the strike missions. Now the strike missions, again, I think there's only 4 or 5 actual strike missions. Again, they're all they're very similar. You know, you go through, you kill the boss, and then you kill the boss at the end, and sometimes you've got like a halfway boss and then a big boss at the end. I actually find it quite fun and rewarding, especially when you start earning some good loot. When you actually do them on the higher levels and you're playing with people obviously your level, they're actually really fun to do. Again, it can be repetitive. It's one of those things that, you know, it's the biggest criticism on here, and I know a lot of people don't like doing the same thing over and over again, and I'm pretty much the same. When I play a single player game, I like things to be varied. Like, I was really impressed with things like Grand Theft Auto 5. I felt like that every mission was different, and also Assassin's Creed, which I've played more recently. Now that is a very long game. I mean, I think I put 36 hours into the game, and I just played literally the story alone, and I don't think I played a mission that was the same. I'm talking about Assassin's Creed 2, by the way. I haven't played any of the others, the more recent ones. I've actually bought Brotherhood, but never mind, we'll stay on topic. But yeah, there's a lot of games out there at the moment that really do story missions really well, and they keep it completely varied, and they're so different in so many different ways. And I know that there's not really a lot that you can do with first person games. I wish there was an innovative way that I could even think of the top of my head to be able to do it, and I really wish there was, but I can't. So there's a couple of things that I figured out to do after I made my first video, and that was that you can rank up different vendors. So you can go, there's a load of people in the place called the Tower, and there's a load of vendors there that sell you guns, equipment, and all that kind of thing. And I didn't realise that you could actually equip something to yourself that then makes you be able to rank up that particular vendor. So obviously you have to go and do the same old missions which you've already done, which again can be quite tedious to do the same thing, but you know, it's to be able to get new guns, like different things that other people don't actually do. The bounties is quite in-depth, although I don't really agree with the system that they use with the bounties, that you can only earn a certain amount. I know that it's a way to stop people that play the game a lot going too far ahead in the ranks and the gear and everything like that, but to have a cap, like, it's just ridiculous for me, for the amount of like the points that you can earn, like Vanguard Points they call it, to put a cap on that, I don't really agree with that. You know, I can only earn, I think, 200 I think in total, but you know, what's the point in then me going to do more Vanguard things if I've only got 200 but I haven't got a vendor, I haven't unlocked enough XP with a certain vendor, so I can't actually buy anything like guns and gear and things like that, but I'm still only capped to a certain amount of credits, you might call them. But it's ridiculous. I can see why they've done it, but you know, I just don't really like it. I played my first raid, the Vault Glass raid, at the weekend, and I think we played about 4.5 to 5 hours, I think it was, and we got all the way to the final boss, but we didn't do the final boss. To be honest, it was 5 o'clock in the morning, my aim was all over the place, we just kept dying, it was just completely ridiculous, so we ended up giving up on the final boss. But I have to admit, I had a really good time playing that. It was really rewarding. I know that I have a problem with the random loot system, which I did explain in my first video, but with the Vault of Glass, the loot that is randomly generised is good loot. I mean, you can get legendary stuff and things like that, and exotic. I think I picked up an exotic sniper rifle doing it, so you know, it is quite rewarding to do, and it is a lot of fun to work out the little puzzles, so that's good. I think what I like about Destiny the most at the moment is the constant free content that they keep giving us, that Bungie keep giving us. They keep updating like the different vendors and things like that, just to keep it completely fresh. They're unlocking new bounties, so you've got different challenges to do. They do a daily and weekly missions that, alright, you've already done, but they'll put it on a harder mission and they'll tell you exactly what you can earn for when you actually do it at a certain level, you know. And I love all that. I love the fact that they're putting all that content in there just to keep the game, as I say, fresh, because if it literally was just the story, I would definitely have traded this game in after the first week. I still feel very strongly about the Crucible. I just don't like it. It's just not for me. I've had to play it the last week because I was ranking up a vendor without actually realising that he only takes Crucible marks. So I've got him all the way to rank 2, which is when you can start earning some legendary armour and things like that, and then I realised that he's only taking Crucible points. So I've ranked him up all the way and then went to buy something. It's not Vanguard, it's actually Crucible. So I played quite a lot of it over the last week, and my feelings are just exactly the same as they were in my first video. I don't like it. I love the gun on gun play. I love, you know, I actually quite like the movement actually, and a lot of people are saying it's clunky, but I don't think it's clunky at all, to be honest. I know it's 30 frames a second, it does seem a little bit clunky, but it's not as bad as what everyone keeps saying. But I just can't stand the special abilities, can't stand fusion rifles. They're definitely a little bit on the OP side for me. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I know that I've kind of gone on a little bit longer than I really wanted to, but I am enjoying Destiny and I can see myself playing this all the way through to Advanced Warfare comes out. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a rating, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.